Yo guys, welcome to ShayanGaming. I thought I'd make a separate video just explaining straight to the point for the tips of this game mode and what have helped me survive. For this round of game mode, you can always just flash and go right to the ending and just skip the whole round. Well, not the whole round, like skip 5% of the round. But be careful because if you're low on health, as you know, when you go out the circle, you do start taking damage. So if you're very low on health and you do that, you might risk just getting wrecked. And that is not recommended. The health packs do heal you and your teammates and give you mana as well. One of the most important things that has always really helped in this game mode is whenever you see a champion pop up on the map, so right now we can see a Rek'Sai, immediately go towards them and kill them as soon as possible. And there is a priority order eventually, such as Kog'Maw. If you see a Kog'Maw, kill them first. If you see Vel'Koz's, kill them first as well. So right now we see on the top is where all of them are, so we'll focus them. Some of the enemy champions aren't as bad. So for example, the Cho'Gath doesn't really do much. He just walks around and knocks people up near him, and because of a range, we're pretty safe. So in this scenario, if a Kog'Maw or Vel'Koz did appear, I would focus the Kog and Vel'Koz instead of the Cho'Gath. See, Kog'Maw here takes some time before he enrages and starts killing you. And when he does a lot of damage, but it's all good because our team knows what to do. And be careful of the Skarners. If they do drag you, they will drag you out of the protective ring, and then you'll start taking damage, like this over here. Now these big Cho'Gaths you want to stay away from and not get close, because if you get close enough, they'll just eat you, and you're basically taking damage over time. You can't leave, you can't do anything, and he'll just spit you out dead, and then your team has to revive you. So do not get close to them. And just another tip, you can use Jinx's E's to basically stop these massive Cho'Gaths from walking around. So if you see someone's been marked like I have right now, this is good if I'm in a difficult position like I am right now to try and stop them. And by the way, with these ones, you have to kill this weird thingy first, otherwise the person who's following him is invincible. Like right now the Skarner there is invincible. You have to kill that little eye thing first. Another thing, stay away from the Rek'Sais. They just constantly CC you and it's really annoying, and you're just like not doing anything. You're just having to get airborne all the time. You can use your summoners, and when a round's finished they'll reset, so just make sure you not lose them. Well, use them so you don't lose them, if that makes any sense. The biggest tip I can give for the boss fight is to only attack the boss when there's no other enemy champions. So right now there's a Rek'Sai. Now just kill all the champions before you bother attacking the boss. This really helps because if you just focus the boss, then all these champions are going to build up, and then it's just going to be crazy. And to avoid the boss's circular thing, just make sure you're near a wall, because he does regularly do that. Another thing, if your teammates do die outside of the circle, well, if they just die in general and then the circle has moved on, you might die as well if you try to run. Like if they've died here and you try to revive them, you might die and then you've just got 2 people dead. So sometimes it is best to just leave them there and try and hope that you can quickly use the flash trick to get to the end of the map. Especially if you're Ezreal, you can E and then flash, which is really nice. And one thing I'm just going to mention, but I've never really ended up using it, when you actually die during the round, you can actually sell items and buy new items, but you only get a bit of the gold when you sell it. You don't get the full amount, just like in normal league. And also, gold generating items don't really help. You still just end up with the same amount of gold as other people at the end of the round. So don't go like Masteries for that or items for that. That is according to League's post. Another tip is to always be near the portals when you know they're going to open up and people are going to come out, so that you can kill them as quickly as possible, because the game does evolve very quickly and there'll be a lot of things around the map just going insane, killing you. So try and kill them as quickly as possible. In Champion Select, you don't actually need a healer to win the normal version of Invasion, but for Onslaught version, you probably do, given that I've never won it, and even with healer, it's still incredibly tough. One also important thing I wanted to mention is I've looked at all the enemy champions throughout the whole game for the normal version of Invasion, and all of them always have more armor than MR. So if you do have loads of ADCs, Last Whisper probably would be a really good idea, and having an AP also will help because of how much more prone they are to taking magic damage. But we'll get into a bit more detail about the builds right now. So I just want to quickly explain the build I go with Jinx, who's been my absolute favorite so far. I end up going with a complete damage build. So I used to go with a somewhat defensive build by taking Adaptive Helm, because I thought, okay, the MR is good against Vel'Koz, and especially that it reduces repeating abilities such as Vel'Koz's shot, then it would make sense. But because the game starts you off with reduced MR, reduced armor, and reduced lifesteal, I thought maybe it's better to make your money's worth and go with full damage. And that's actually been working each game so far for me. So what I do is, in the very beginning, I take the BF sword and the pickaxe for Infinity Edge, and I'm left over with enough money to get the dagger, which is the attack speed boost from Berserker Greaves. I then finish off Infinity Edge, finish off the boots, start working towards Rapid Fire Cannon. Sorry, I mean Static Shiv, because Static Shiv really helps when you're playing against those minions. I call them minions because they're the weakest enemy you get in the whole game mode, which is the ones that are just one-shot hit. and because they are usually grouped up together, Static Shiv just kills them instantly, which really helps save time. So you can spend more time killing the champions that are actually wrecking you. And then the reason why I go Lord Dominic's Regard, because the Rek'Sai and the Kha'Zix just have quite a bit of armor, and it just takes quite a long time to kill them, and with Lord Dominic's Regards it just, well, obviously helps make that quicker. And then you're left with enough gold to exactly buy an extra BF sword just for extra damage. So you end up with 0 gold for the boss fight, which is pretty good. But you could go Guardian Angel instead, but if you do have a healer, then you probably don't need Guardian Angel. And just so you guys know, you can't actually get Runans on this, which really sucks, but yeah, it would be kind of crazy if you did have it. But it's not like this game mode isn't crazy as it is already. I just want to explain the masteries I go with. So this is for Jinx. And I just feel like these are probably the best masteries to go with, because over here you're getting health regen, which isn't diminished in the game because lifesteal is, but health regen isn't. Over here obviously you're getting attacked by champions all the time, so this is beneficial, getting even more health compared to this one, which improves lifesteal, but lifesteal is already being weakened in the game mode. And this one, because you pretty much will always need health regen, and once again, as I said before, it's not reduced in the game. And here just going completely damage focus with Feather, especially for Jinx. So if you do be happening to go AP, then, for example, with Ahri, or pretty much probably any AP, it's very good to go Miralenum cons, because, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, I just call it more. That's what I type in. But because even though you're only getting a level up when you actually finish a round, eventually when you get it, which is by the end of next round, you should have the whole item. You'll basically have infinite mana because you're constantly killing enemy champions and it just refreshes your mana. So this is definitely priority item, I'd say. At the next round, as I said earlier, we finished the more item. I'm just going to call it more. And I'm going to go Proto Belt as my next item. It just really helps as an extra dash in case things get tough. Although with Ahri, of course, you have 3 dashes with your ultimate, but this also gives us CDR as well. By the beginning of round 5, you'll have the complete boots and Monomicon, and also Hextech Proto Belt. And as final item, I'm going to be going Rabadon's Death Cap. Even though I'm giving up an additional 10% CDR that I could get, it seems to be fine already. I have won some games like this. And I believe most of the enemy champions in this game mode have higher armor than magic resist, so Rabadon's Death Cap essentially will be doing quite a bit of damage. And then like this, for the final boss fight, you will have all of this 3 beautiful items and some left over to get whatever you want. For AP champions, these are the masteries I'm taking. It's essentially just full AP damage, and Deathfire's Touch really helps because you're constantly hitting enemy champions, and Natural Talent because you are auto attacking quite a bit during the game when you're waiting for your cooldowns to refresh, and the increased AD and AP just helps in general. And I mean, the lifesteal is already weakened because of the game, so I just thought I'll just go with this. And same as the ADC masteries for the resolve tree, getting that increased health regen. However, just in general, no matter who you play, I'd probably recommend going full damage, especially if you have a healer on your team. But with the healer, I would recommend going Redemption. Redemption's probably the most lifesaver item you can have in this game. But yeah, hopefully these tips will help you guys. If you have any other tips, just feel free to leave them in the comments so everyone can know about them, share them with each other, and get those Star Guardian missions complete, because there's quite a few of them. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video and you found that useful, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe for future videos, and see you guys in the next video. Adios!